Just finishing off the last bits for Instagram. Waiting for it to come on, and I think we should be on. Yeah, wait a second. So I can finish it a little bit up here. And I think we should be on. Everybody, welcome to another live here from the Great Barrier Reef, another Triton live. And I hope you can all hear me. And this time also the camera is actually pretty good, I guess. So I can see Matthew is on. I think I can see some people joining already on Instagram. Hey guys, how are you? Mina is on. Hey Mina. Mina, how's the tank on? Need to know. Sergio is on. We have some new people on. Hey, Reef Lover. Yeah. Oh, that was what I thought. It was Reef over last time. Reef Lover, man. How are you? Good. Good. So Tiago is on. Yeah, good. Yeah, because last time sound was good last time. It is more video was kind of coming on and off. So let's see if that happens today. But yeah, let's say Linda is on. Hello, Linda. How are you? Wife is on, so she'll be happy. Oh, Mina is on YouTube too. That's cool. All right, guys. So I just wanted to quickly tell you something. Um, we will run a lot of stuff also Black Friday wise. So we'll run a lot of Black Friday uh things, Black Friday kind of, um like what do you call it? Auctions now. Call it auctions. Deals, yes, we'll have a lot of Black Friday deals. And in America, we will have a Black Friday deal on the subscription too. So just to let you know, there's something coming up, and I would anyway, what the most of you doing anyway, waiting for Black Friday a little bit, kind of keep the money together and then go hard on it. But there will be definitely something for the subscription too. So just check that out. Be sure you check that out. Okay. And the other thing that I want to tell you is tonight is coral spawning. So it is on right now, but tonight I think is one of the major nights and it's good weather. So I will be out there with Linda and maybe my boys because pretty special and today's Sunday. Um, but we'll do some work there overnight. Like we'll not stay all the night, but we'll stay quite long. That's what they're so excited of. My boys. And yes, and I'll take you with me. So there will be a live from there. That's kind of, I know it's West Coast best time right now. But that's good for the East Coast of America and good for Europe, good for the UK. So just make sure I will talk about it today more often, I guess, in this live. But that's going to be good thing. Possibly I try to show you something live underwater, but that's very hard because the camera will be it can't transmit out of the water. So you need to kind of figure out how to do it. I tried, but it didn't work really well. So I will try. Otherwise we just run it like that. But we'll have Vincent on. We'll have Julian on. So Vincent Thomas, the guy that is doing all the coral spawning facilities around the world, he's on. So you can ask him questions too. And that's obviously he's also running the Triton UK lab. So just to let you know, it's quite interesting day today. Okay, so if you can wake up, it's kind of midnight, 1 or 2 o'clock West Coast, but it's early in the morning for the East Coast, right? So just to let you know. Yes, and I'll check quickly for questions. Oh, a lot of people joined on Instagram. One more thing. I only can see you on YouTube and Facebook if you say hi to me, for example, just on the comments. Okay, just don't worry. It's not like I'm not greeting you or something. I just don't see you on. Okay, I see a lot of people on, but I don't see a lot of people kind of commenting. So it's just to let you know, I can't see that. Okay, White Gaming. Okay, so just to let you know all this stuff. So let me see if there's any questions on your side already. Lot of people on Instagram. Wow, that's cool. Irish shrimp guy. Hey, Irish shrimp guy. How are you? Hey, so UAE Aquatics is on, and Hoffman. Is that Christian Hoffman? I don't know. There's people with really long names, and that's making my life hard. But hello, welcome. If you have any question, just ask them. Reefing with O. Hey, O. How are you, mate? Hope you're good. And Mo's Reef too. Mo, how are you? Oh, you could be on tonight too, Mo. That's that you're Mo from the UK, aren't you? So you want to be on? That's cool. So Fiza is on YouTube. Hey, Edinburgh Frags is on. How are you? Edinburgh, that's Macmillan. That should be That's good to have you on there too. Maybe tonight. That will be crazy. Okay. Reefing with O. Always having a question. What's going on? Oh, that's cool. So, hi. Just started Triton media in my calcium reactor. How do you dose the infusion elements with it? Um, there is a calculator. How you can calculate an approximate amount of DKH coming out of your calcium reactor, right? So, it's like before the calcium reactor, after calcium reactor, you kind of test DKH on there, or calcium. I think one of them. And what you do then is based on that DKH, you calculate your infusion, and you can just run it on a dosing pump. That's like it's a day based on a daily DKH usage. That's what we do. Like, because that's what the way we do it in the other way, so it really works well. So you can do that on the with the big calcium reactor too. Doesn't matter, right? That's the way we do it, or the guys from Cancer Aquarium do it. So whoever has a calcium reactor with the tank, that's the best way to do it. You could dose it like, nah, this is the best way. Just do it that way. That's why we have the calculator. Just do it that way. That's the best way, right? If you need help with it, let me know. But it's literally finding out how much DKH you replace with your calcium reactor every day. So you could go by DKH loss. You could do, that's and because if you have if you have a chemical mixer, you exactly know what is inside. So you exactly know how much you can how much you actually add. That's why it's a bit easier, but with the calcium reactor, it's possible too. We did that several times now. It works really well. So riffing by design is on. Hey Nick, you need to be on tonight too. UK time. Perfect UK time. 10 a.m. UK time. Okay, so just to let you know, there's another live coming today because it's corresponding. I'll tell you all one more time. And I will be live on the boat in the night when the corals are spawning. There will be Linda and my boys on the boat, and we'll do some work there, and we'll have a live. And Vincent Thomas will be on, and he's the person that is doing all the, all the big facilities that grow and spawn coral around the world, like in the Maldives and kind of around the world. He's pretty good stuff, and you can ask him questions too. Albert is on. Hey Albert, how are you? Yeah, that's the best, Lalo. That's why I'm doing it. Exactly the time you're doing maintenance, I am doing this live for you. Just so it's not getting boring, and then you get more successful because you finish your maintenance. Otherwise, you would stop midway, and then your tank wouldn't look good. That's what I'm doing it. I realized that when I met you. And just joking. But Albert, I have a live for you coming this night. So if you wake up early, and I know you do, then join it, because that's a good one. That's from the reef. Like I said, it's a reef. It's from the reef in the night because we have coral spawning right now, and it's good weather, so we can do it. Okay. Uh, that's really good. Yep. I hope you learned something, mate. It's a lot of fun here. That's pretty good too. So guys, if you have any question, go for it. There was a question that Julian told me I need to talk to you about, and it's just kind of I just don't know what it was. There was several questions this week, and there was one that he said we need to cover, and sadly I forgot about it, but he will possibly come up with it tonight anyway. And I just wanted to, you know, tell you that there was something. Maybe Julian joins at one point and asks that question on his own. Then wouldn't be bad. We also have it looks like we have a predator in the tank. It's a bit sad, but either predator or my antis don't like each other. So it's one or the other because we lost several days now, every day an antia, like every night or every 2 nights, like overnight, they're just gone and they don't jump and you don't find any remains. So it's a bit, yeah, it's a bit worrying. And it's not the Aurolantis antis, it's just the Pascalis antis. So it could be that the Aurolantis turned male and do not accept them anymore because they're also spread out a lot. So I'm pretty sad, but I'll need to go back in the night and check if it's something that eats them, a crab or something like that, while they're sleeping, or if it is really the Orlands. But it's very possible because antis do not like each other normally. I was always of you know of the impression that Orlantis, because they're so deep, wouldn't be that aggressive. But my Orlantis, they're very dominant when it comes to their territory. So they're very, the males now, they got their females in their spots and they really protect them. So I guess it is an anteater thing, and I guess this type of anteater, because it's not kept very often, like that Orlantis is only sourced from one place in the world, and that's here. And it's only one company in the world that scans marine. So, and I keep 18 of them. So it's maybe I'm the only one doing that worldwide. And now I'll grow them quite a bit, and they're turning around. So I don't know. It just let you know that I had I forget bobbit worm. Yeah, I thought that too, but he would eat other fish too. So that is a bit strange, like you would not lose only antias and only one type of it. So we'll see, but the thing is that they're very like good fed antias too. Like they're not dying. They one day they're there and then one day they're not. So I need to really be watching it. And it was like, a long time there was nothing happening, and all of a sudden it started again. So I need to look it up. Yeah, I need to look at it, what happens. Orlands antis also can be very active because they're from a very deep area, like 90 to 160 meters. They see very well in the night too, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see. I'll do a video about all the tank anyway, because it's otherwise kind of super crazy grown and everything, and it's 5 to 6 months old, so I need to do one. I couldn't do it this week because we have maintenance on a lot of systems. We have maintenance on Australia right now too, so next week that will start again. And I will get on it. And we have obviously spawning. We also had spawning in the tank, not a massive one. It's was like a pre-spawn, but I will have a video about that too. I think so you see it from you see it when you come in the morning, and then the skimmer is over. It's like a lot of thick foam and it's over skimmed. But then when you clean the skimmer and put it on, then it's all right again. So that's when you see you had like a little spawning or something in the night. It's not the aquapora. I don't believe that. It's not my corals that spawned. Maybe some of them, I don't know, but not the aquapora and not the montiporas. Might be the clams that went, because there is a trigger, and Vincent will tell you that it's temperature, and our temperature is always 24 degrees because we have a chiller. So yeah, might be triggered from outside, but it's kind of the thing that we have. Yeah, anyway, so am I still online on Instagram? I think so. Should be fine. Give me some questions, guys. Just give me some questions. That will be good. Okay, so I noticed mine sleep in holes in the rocks, the head sticking out. Yeah, so that's your anteaters, isn't it? Yeah, that's what they normally. I'm just I'm just worried, about something being, and if I don't want them to go crazy on the Atlantis, because they're rare, So I'm really sad about the Pascalis, because they're very rare too, because they're very hard to keep. But I can't do anything right now about it. And there's only 2 left, so let's see. So Reef Suns joined. Hey, Reef Suns. Reef Suns, we have a live coming up tonight on the reef when there's coral spawning. So good time for you. Like, so it will be in your morning, like 11 o'clock in Spain, I think, 11 a.m. Tomorrow for you, right? So just to let you know. Yeah, Macmillan. I don't know. I see them sleeping. That's not the point, But I think, yeah, like you say, there's somewhere in the rock, easy to get for a crab, So yeah, I know. I once saw one, like when they were down to 7 or something. I saw one of the really strong ones being totally, like, totally looking bad, like really teared apart. But that would have been a fish too. It could have been a fish too, one of the other guys, So, but he looked really bad. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I need to go in there at night. That's the bad thing. You have it at home. You just wake up. You look at it. You just get your torch, look at it. But yeah, I have it obviously in the lab, right in front of it. So then you go back and then do it and come back home. I'll do it, but yeah, yeah. Oh, it will work out. So anybody, guys, you seem not to have questions today. That's awesome. I did my job. That's pretty good. You need to come up with something. Otherwise, I need to wrap this up, and it was just advertising for the other life. That's a good one. And no, Mina has questions. Sorry, Mina, I didn't realize. Mina, here you go. Sorry. I'll take everything back. Mina, thank you. Thank you, Mina. Quick question on photo period. How long is the best for an Aquapora Triton tank? 12 hours at 100% or closer to 16 hours? No, 16 is a bit too much, Mina. So I would say everything 100%, 8 hours is pretty good. Okay? And then you have like, that's 100%. So everything is turned on. Then you have 2 hours on each side, ramping up the blue color. So it's only blue ramping up to 100%. Then you start with the white for 1 hour to 100%, right? That's 3 hours to get out until you reach everything 100%. And then you go the opposite way down. So you go 1 hour down with the white, and then 2 hours down with the blue, right? So if you do that, then you end up like with 14 hours, and that is like a really good amount. You don't need more, really. I normally never run over 14 hours from the first light to the last light, right? That's 14 hours. So that would be a good period. It depends on your light, but in your case, I know you have a lot of white blue mix kind of, and that will work really well. It also depends a little bit how you like to see the tank, but I would strongly recommend to run 100% if possible. If you're not like all torches or like things that really do not like super high amount of light, but Aquapora, Montipora, they really love light, so you should go hard on them. And I would really recommend to have the white light ramped up at one point. So if you don't like to see it, it's fine, but then do it when you're not at home. Like, just do it, because they need that. They will pop much more. Light is a very important thing to make them colors really nice and poppy. Like, when and a very easy one too, compared to when you look at all the parameters that you need to have correctly. And that's super hard. You do so much stuff for the water quality, and then I see often people just still fail and they should have really popping colors. They're running Triton, they're doing like everything really perfect and professional, but then they end up not having the right light, and it would be so easy, just, you know what I mean, add one or more light. It's such an easy fix, but then they fail because of that, or they just don't get that last little bit because of that, you know, of growth of stuff. So just let know, it's a very important one. um a very good question to Mina. Thank you for that. That's great. So Fiza is on. Hey Fiza, sorry, I kind of didn't see that all these things on YouTube and Facebook. It's now coming in. Okay, so I'm just checking on Instagram quickly, and then there's another one. Yep, Reef Sans has a question, and I'm coming to you, Reef Sans, no problem. So also, when adjusting course 7 dosing, should we use DKH reading from the start, middle, or end of the photo period? That is up on you, Mina. I do it normally based on the evening measurements that I'm doing, right? Um so the end of it. Okay, so I'm normally doing it that, but as long as you do it based on always the same one, it's fine. So even if you do it on the day in the morning one, that if you do it always on the morning one, that's fine, because then you don't have changes in between them. And if you do it always in the evening, it's fine. Always in the middle, it's fine. So if you say I'm normally testing like at 2 p.m. And not, I don't like in the evening because I have dinner and whatever, then do it on 2 p.m. That's fine. And then you just do it every day at 2 p.m. That's what, and you need to, don't be like waiting there, stopping the time. It's not 2 p.m. now. It's not like that, right? Like somehow around 2 p.m., right? That should be fine. That's what I mean. Like don't be too fuzzy about it, but do it. That's important. And then you do it every always the same time. That's the best way to do it. Get you out of a lot of things, right? So Mina, could it be a, yeah, but it could be. It could be. That's what I'm saying. It could be. Good morning, Rice. How are you? Oh, but will you be back at Reefer Palooza Orlando? Oh, but yes, sure, man. It's not a question. I love flying around 45 hours. Yeah, I'll be. I'll definitely be, man. I'll be. It's always on close to my birthday too, so it's a good time. Good time for me to come and have some fun with you guys. Definitely. I will be there. I'll be there. And with this time, I think we'll possibly have a bigger booth too. I'm not sure yet because the subscription has gone really well. So we'll possibly have, we last time, you know, normally when we come to Reefer Palooza or we come to any show, we don't have really something to sell. You know, like, so when you look at all the big kind of booth and stuff like that, they come there, they sell on the booth, so they kind of recoup a lot of money on the show. That's the typical American shows, um, like trade shows. But we do not do that. You know, we don't have anything like that. Like we don't go in there, sell tests and stuff until now. Now we have the subscription. So it was funny that last California one was very funny because people actually had something to buy on the booth. So they came in and you know, we need to set up all these things like like credit card payments or whatever. It was crazy, but it worked out really well. So I'm saying it's just making sense now more. So I will definitely be there. Definitely on Reefer Palooza. I guess every year. I mean, I love the guys too. You know, like they are really good people, and it's really made professionally too. I really love Greg and Louise and Alisa, and always on his they're really doing it because they love it, and out of like passion and drive, and they have this commitment to perfection. I just love it. It's one of the best shows, maybe the best show ever I've been to, River Palooza, and I should have done that way earlier, way earlier. Anyway, so we have Reef Sans. Sorry, Reef Sans. How dangerous is it to have zero nitrate and zero phosphate levels? Reef Sans, it's not, I wouldn't say dangerous, right? The problem with that is that the measurements we have, they're not showing they're showing you zero, but that doesn't mean you have zero. You have nothing. That's just not the truth. So the measurements, like with nitrate, for example, with a droplet, In my tank, they're always 0, but it's not 0. You know, it's there's something less than this test can detect is there, and that's enough. So when you look at it in my tank, like everything is gone crazy, and it's outer barrier reef, and when you measure the outer barrier reef, it's the same thing. You won't measure any nitrate, right? But it's just because it's so low, that you can't measure it with a droplet test. Um, there is still nitrogen in there, and you might be able to measure it with the NDOC, but also there you will, even if that kind of, we had readings of 0 sometimes, very unusual, but sometimes, and they were correct, but that tank was still fine. So it's still also there. It's like 0.1, I would say 0.2, if you want to be reliable, because you kind of ship the sample to and stuff. So, yeah, I would say it's still hard to even measure there a critical amount, right? So if you are on 0 and you see your corals are very pale, if you're measuring 0 phosphate, 0 nitrate, and they get so pale and like a little bit of bleachy, you also can make a picture. What I do is I make a picture of the corals, because it's hard to see it sometimes with your eyes, but I'll make a macro picture. So I go really close with a macro camera, a really good one, and I make a picture of it. And then you zoom in and you can see the stripes on the coral, the brown stripes. That's testosterone, the algae that is in there. And then on the light side of the coral, you might not see them, but if you see them on the lower sides, on the less light sides a little bit more, then you're still fine. Then the coral has still enough to like sustain them. If corals are bleached, you will lose these lines too, so you'll actually lose every brown to it. And some people think, oh, my corals look good, but that's the bleached corals. That's dangerous, right? So some of them. If you have something like that, then you might be really too low. But it is hard to get a coral too low. I'll tell you, not every coral, it's depending on where they're coming from, but most of the corals can survive and like really low nutrient levels. That's where they come from, just to let you know. So the danger is not as high. Higher levels are more dangerous. They're more dangerous. Okay. A lot of people joined on Instagram again. Hi to everybody. Just wanted to let you know that we have a live coming up tonight for everybody in Europe, especially at the east coast of America. Very important. It's coral spawning today, and it's like for many days, like 3-4 days. But today is one of the major days, and we have good weather. And I will be on the boat streaming live at night. So I hope I can show you quite a bit, but we have like lights and everything. But we have Vincent Thomas on as a guest on the live, and Julian will be live on too. He won't be on the boat. Linda and me will be on the boat, but Julian will be joining us in that live. And you can ask all your questions around coral spawning, and I'll tell you about what we're doing there. It's quite interesting. And it's good thing, because it's only once a year. It's a very rare kind of happening, and it's rare to have good weather to get out there. So it's not every year I can take you out on the boat and do a live stream from the boat. So you should be on there. That's a good thing, just to let you know, because you just joined, guys, and I didn't want to keep that away from you. Kobe thing. It's going good, Kobe. Thank you, mate. How are you? So what we have, hello, it's from Mexico. Hi, Matt. I'm just saying hi to everybody. So Matt is asking, Matty, what would cause elevated strontium in a reef tank? Just you added it. That's it. But elevated strontium is not bad. Like you can go up to 16 without any issue. David Sexby back then, he always wanted it to be at 16. He always wanted me to calculate for him how he can reach 16, and it's good. I think Greg lifted up to, I go up with it to 10 or 9 or 10, 11 sometimes, just because when I put new corals in and they're broken off and stuff, they like it to repair, so you get very quickly covered back and healthy. So just to let you know, like, it's not a bad thing. How high is it, Matthew? Just let me know. And more people joined. Hey, Coral Prime. That's cool. Ted Reef joined. Hi, Ted Reef. That's cool. Good. Okay, so I have more questions from Macmillan. Frags. Better ask Nina what lights she has. I have 3 Radiants Gen 6 over 5 foot tank and can't run my lights over 60%. As burns my acros. Yeah, now mate, I know which ones he has. It's Mina, not Nina, Mina. And he sent me once. Like you can do that all of you if you want. You know, he sent me like a really nice PDF where he put every information of his tank in. So when he's asking questions here, I actually know exactly what I'm talking about. And normally, you know, we have another guy, John, he sends me stuff from time to time. I just like to know, you know, because there's so many kinds of aquariums out there, like you say, like so many kinds of lights, and they keep different things, right? Yeah, but then you need to be realistic with this. But Macmillan, I'll tell you also one thing. I do not believe in that too much light is the issue, you know, because you creating that amount of light that we have here at the reef, um, with lights that man made or we made with LEDs, it's just that's just not going to happen, you know. So it's not the same amount. It's impressive how bright it is, and the sun here hits them in 1 meter depth. That's like 2,000 power something, you know. Like it's you don't. I'll go do measurements too. I just ordered one of the power measurement tools. I wanted a really good one, but the problem I had a problem with the length of the wire. You know, I want to go really deep, 5 meter. Maybe send Linda into like 30 meters because she's obviously diving really, really far down. But then I need the cable to be that long so I can take the measurement, you know. But yeah, it is a thing, you know. It is also having to do with the water chemistry a bit. So, you know, you can ramp it up slowly. If you go quickly up, they don't possibly like it. But if you go slowly up and then you get way more metabolism in aquapora. You get fast growth, like really fast and crazy. And you might have it. I'm just telling you that that is not the light itself. You know, it's other factors too, right? Um, so what is I will okay, yeah. Well, Albert is saying he will be back at Reef Palooza, Orlando. The cool kids, the cool kids got to learn. Yeah, you know, to come to my talk. I'll definitely have a talk there again. Let's see. That's good. Okay, Mina is on. I'll just check. Yeah, here you go. I think I have one more, but not sure how I'm adding it. Yeah. So Matthew, sometimes there is you adding it, but like this is a very often kind of case where you have, like in this case, strontium. You have something mixed into a bottle or contaminate, like as contamination in something else, you know. So this is what we see very often. We have it for with barium, for example, in strontium solutions, right? That's so often because people in the past, like Barling, he made a mixture strontium barium complex because he thought if strontium is used, barium is used, but he never did an ICP testing service. So what we found is no, it's not the same. If you add barium and strontium the same amounts or in relation to each other, the barium will creep up very quickly because it's not used, but the strontium is. So this things is still around. So if you use a strontium from some brands, because it just kept copying, you know, whatever what some Barling said 20 years ago, then they have strontium and then they have barium in that same bottle. And that's a mistake. It's just a mistake, you know. So then you have barium, and the same counts with strontium. So you could have strontium somewhere, like in you know some coral food, for example. Somebody just add strontium to it, right? Things like that. That just is happening. But let me know how much it is, and I'll possibly can tell you. 15 milligram. Yeah, it is quite high, but it's not dangerous, so that's fine. Um, I would leave it. It will go away quickly because if it's high, they use it up quickly, or it's precipitated. It actually builds into the skeleton. You know, that's gone quick. I don't know why they really like it. You know, they use it definitely. The corals. I wouldn't panic, but it is something you dose. You know, I would guess it's something liquid you dose. One of the liquids you dose to your tank. You know, that's some. I know you're running the Triton method, but it's not. It's some liquid thing you added aside of the Triton method that would carry it. You know, so that is it, and it will, like I say, it will go. It will go away. It's not dangerous at all. Not zero danger. You know, don't don't be at all. Like say David Saxby, that's what he's running on, like 60. That's what he wanted. You know, I don't know if you know David Saxby, the UK reefer, very famous kind of UK reefer, old school, very long time, um, and he loved that. So it's fine. Nothing happens. I've did a lot of signs on that. That's absolutely fine. So I'm currently running 30 minutes blue only as ramp up. Mina, yeah. 11.5 hours at 100%, then 30 minutes blue as ramp down. Thanks to seems like it's really gotten stable this way. I don't like the blue look in general. Yes, Mina, so you can do that. That is not an issue. What you gain from more light and what people think. So I found that when I talk to people on shows and on my talks and when, whatever, um, people think you give the aquarium light just for the coral, right? And that is not at all true. Okay, so it's like they think, if I wouldn't have coral, I'll just put like a little light bulb up, and that's fine. And it's kind of right, but it is on the other side very wrong. So the light in the reef drives it. It's the energy source, right? So the main energy source in the reef is light because they don't have anything else. They don't have nutrients too much. They don't have sugar. They don't have anything to drive it, right? So that's why they use most of it. Even a clam, right, uses the photosynthesis of plants, of algae, to gain that energy, right, from the sun, because that's a massive amount of energy, the light. So when you look at that, but everything is driven by it, and every metabolism of the whole habitat is driven by light. So when you do that, for example, and you give your tank a lot of light, Macmillan something for you to let you know, let's say in the cycling phase of your tank, then the cycle will go way faster because you give so much energy. So you see your algae growing every day super quick, and 1 week you have a lot of algae, and then it dies away because it sucks up all the nutrient in only 1 week, and then you'll have no algae anymore, and you can start doing the corals, right? This is the way it works. If you low light, means the coral grow slowly. Okay. And it's just like, you know what I mean, like it's so you have that with everything. You have for growing like plants. I'll show you one plant that I'm very proud of right now. So look at mine. That's an orchid. Okay, so growing plants um is very similar. You understand they need a specific amount of, like, not too much plants, not too much, because they're not all coming from the reef top, right? The corals the same, not all of them, but the corals, a lot of your corals come from very shallow, so they will like a lot of light. But then they also need nutrient. This orchid that I showed you, very rare orchid, like very not rare but very good orchid, is needs a lot of fertilizer, a lot of water and a lot of fertilizer, because they grow, right? So if one of them is missing, then you kind of break the metabolism, and that is the same thing for your tank. So Mina, what you haven't is you like the high metabolism because you run into like a second cycle, which is good, right? And you can do that for your fish. if you have some fish that could jump, for example, I would make that phase a bit longer than 30 minutes, you know, just to make it long. You can leave them 100% where it is, just make it longer because they like to be waken up slowly, right? Some of the fish, because some of the fish jump because the lights go on too fast. They just, freak out a little bit. So just to let you know, and let everybody here knows that light is not only for coral. Light is for your whole tank. It's a driver. It drives your nutrient cycles. It drives with the nutrient cycles a lot of other things, and it's important to have, even if you do not wouldn't have the really crazy light loving corals. You would need a good amount and a good quality of light. Okay. So Matthew, sorry for going on with light, but it's an important one. So would it be in CCAM iodine? Mate, I can't say that even if I would know it, Matty. It definitely could be in every liquid you add to your tank. I'm saying you could find out. You could just add a little bit and send it as an ICP test. Um, but yeah, but you don't need to. I mean, if whenever you use Triton, you're sure it's all ICP tested anyway. You're sure it's one hand. So when we started reef keeping, like when I started my company, I had an issue. When I started my company, I was the only one doing ICP testing. Nobody was believing that's a good thing, right? So I created ICP testing, but then very very fast, my dad said, "Well, you have an issue now. People will come to you and say, well, I have this happening to my tank and I have this happening. Look, where is this coming from? Exactly like what you're doing, Maddie. And I have too much strontium. I have too high calcium. I have, where is this coming? Where is the barium coming from? So then I would have needed to go there and say, well, and blame the other companies and blame them, say, don't use this, don't use that, don't use this. And like, and that wasn't the solution because you really want to be the guy that blaming other companies for making mistakes. I don't like that, right? But like this is uh, like the reality if you're only doing a testing service. So then we said, well, if we do the testing service, then we need to have something secure. So we can always say, listen, if you're running the Triton method, for example, then you won't have that issues. Because if you run a pure Triton method, you have everything from Triton. There is no need for doing anything else. And then you can be sure that, you're not having contamination in the tank. Because if you would have, then we would be the guys finding out that we have contamination in our own product. And that was why we got so successful, because we had a fundamental understanding for our customers' trust and how to gain that. We actually did everything to gain your trust by making ourselves um you know for yourself, like, transparent. So like I say, if you run a Triton method, then you have all of a sudden high strontium. This is why you're asking me, but I'm telling you, you're dosing something where it's in and it's not the Triton stuff, right? So because I know, because I produce that stuff. That is the main understanding of it, and I get me out of the problem to blame somebody. So if you come to me with problems, I will tell you, move towards the Triton method, because you have a contamination, you don't know where it's from. If you don't know, if you can't find out, you can. There's a transparency here, but that is the way it works, So um so that's what we're doing, right? That's why, and that's why I'm answering you like that. Okay. um Blink twice if you can you see it through the glasses? That's oh man, that was a good one. Thank you, you're making my morning, mate. So yes, but some of the elements weren't available at LFS, so I had to make some yeah, that's fine as long as you know where you're coming from. That's all good. Where it is actually coming from. That's all good. That's what I mean. It need to be in your hands. You are the guy with the aquarium. You are our focus. I can't tell about every company, but our focus is you. To enabling you to be successful, you need the right tools. You need to know what's happening in your tech, not me, right? It's somehow need to be you. So that's why I'm doing this lives. That's why I'm trying to get you on the reef to understand the corals, because that's what helped me. You know, I mean, I'm doing this for over 30 years now, but the you know that I know what helped me, right? I know what helped me get a tank like I have right now. I know that, and I want you guys to know, and that's why I'm doing this, and that's why I create all these tools for you. Like, I mean, without me, there would be no ICP testing. I'll tell you that. There will be no one doing it because they didn't want to, right? Not because they maybe couldn't. It's not like a super genius idea, to be honest. Like it's just a very rational one. So that I did it, and then the rest of them needed to do it, right? So it's not. I'm pretty sure that's the case, right? So I'm not thinking of myself of a genius or something, right? Just to let you know. But that is the thing. So the intention of what you do in something, the intention of what you do in science, the intention of what you do in something is very important in everything. And our intention is make you successful. So you need to know this stuff. And as soon as you know that something you use might be contaminating your tank, that's already useful information, bro. You can leave it away. That's it, right? So next time you leave it away, see what happens. That's what I'm saying. Aquakiller is on. Aquakiller. How are you, Luis? Lawrence. Lawrence is on. Lawrence is in. Lawrence says it. Not assassin. Not assassin. How are you? Hey, Luis, do you have a question for me, bro? Just get me some questions. Let's see what else is coming up on the other ones, Facebook and Insta and YouTube. So that is now Mina is asking. So the lights the light is the driver of the entire reef ecosystem. Yes, that's why I'm trying to maximize it. Yep, that's all right. Do it. I've definitely maximized it in my tank. I always do. So I have 21 X4s over my tank right now. So that's 650 pound on the bottom of it. So it's a lot of light. So perfect. Then we need the Triton. We need Triton Calquas. Yeah, that's an easy one. Yeah, you can get that. Albert, next product. I'll call it. Triton Calquas. Idea by A. So you know how I'm talking. That's fine. So time you're going out on the boat, as in hours from now. Yes. So this will be the life will be pretty much 12 hours from now, Macmillan. And because I need to go in the night. So like night time, like when it's dark. Okay. So I will be on the boat earlier. I will need to drive through some to some reefs beforehand, before dusk. There's some stuff I want to do there. Then I will head to one of the reefs at at um at dusk at dawn, and now at dusk. So we'll go on there when just and then hook up, because you need to see the reef. Right, it's a bit dangerous to drive in at night close to reefs, which is very understandable, right? But it's good. It's a really so the window for this is not always matching. Um, Today is matching very well. We have high tide when when it's getting dark, so it's good to you don't want to run it boat into a reef. I just don't tell you, not that boat definitely. And then so I'm a bit calmer, and then drive it while I still see something, and then I will hook up, and we will hook up to a buoy. We're not going anchor in the reef, right? We're not doing that. So we hook up to a buoy at daytime, and then when there's still light, right? And before the last light, we need to be hooked up and set up. and then we wait like an hour or two, and then we'll just go to the thing. So what's going on? Oh, here you go. Just grab it. Grab it. Grab it. See, that's here you go. So that is what is planned. So yeah, it will be around 12 hours, I would guess, that we'll have the live. We had advertising up on Instagram too for it, and on Facebook. So just check it out. But that's when we're on there. All right. So my camera is saying it's out of battery soon. So my phone is out of battery soon, but it's fine. We still have 20%. So there is a question. Yes, about 10. It's 10 a.m. in the UK, Macmillan. Okay. So what's next for Triton? When do you think NDOC is coming to the USA? Also, is MS coming to the US? A for sure thing. Yes, it's looking pretty much that we're going very hard on our US lab, Aquila. So yes, it is very likely that we're going to have a lot of things in the lab, maybe more than you were asking for in the lab in the US, because the way we're doing it right now, it's working really well. What we're doing works for our customers. They're very happy, works for their tanks, and I think it's the future of reef keeping. And I always wanted to give people a lot of abilities too, because you need to understand one thing. Like we learn from the reef keeper a lot. We learn. I'm a scientist, and most of the science I do is on humans that keep aquariums. That's my science, right? So if I give you more abilities, I will learn more too. You know, that's where the way we found out a lot of things with the OES, and the MS will come definitely, in my opinion. I don't think it gains that much information. You know that I don't think it's very useful, right? But if people think it is, and if they can prove it to me, I definitely can operate it without a problem. You know, so, and I can buy one. It's not expensive, you know. Like, I mean, like say my boat is way more expensive than that, right? I can possibly buy 5 of them if I sell the boat. And an NDOC might be close to, but we're not sure, because it might. Yeah, I mean, we're not, but it's not definite right away. We're not doing everything the same time, because we need to be careful to be able to scale up like that, with personnel too. You know, like you need to have good people working for you too, right? So it's I think that side is more difficult than just buying machines, because if you just buy a machine, like, and nobody can handle it, you know, like, people often don't think like that. They think like, oh, you know, this company just bought a machine. Yeah, but where's the guy that actually uses? Because he need to be really good, you know. And that's kind of the thing too. So yeah, but it's happening. US is going to be run up very quickly and very, very crazy, to be honest. Also, the subscription is there's changes coming to it too already. So we're already making changes. There's stuff coming up that we add on top, looks like. So it's really good. It's really good. So yeah, there's a lot of things happening, Aqua Killer. And yeah, it has a lot to do with also me learning that, in my opinion, also, and I learned it, and I'm possibly very well equipped to make that assumption, but I really think that American reef keeping is leading it right now again, especially from the point of very let's say, like, passionate and effort wise, from the side of the reef keeper. That's my honest opinion. There's a lot of people with a lot of drive, and I learn a lot from the Americans in a moment. That's really good, you know. So I'll stick to that. I'll stick to where I can get the most of the information from. That's all right. That's good. Now let's see. So we need a mixed solution for potassium, molybdenum, and fluoride on the website. Yeah, mate. I know, and maybe that's what's happening, and then it goes into the subscription too. Maybe, but I'll blink 3 times and you can see it possibly if that's the case. Okay. So just ask Matthew. He knows. But I'm not saying something. So always has been good for me so far. Haven't needed the additional resolution of MS spec. Also, I don't need to do a NDoc very often, so don't mind the wait time from Germany. Yes, Mina, I know that's the realistic thing. The other thing is you don't get the resolution on the MS. Like, this is my honest opinion too, and I will say it even if I run an MS. I will tell you, but and you can decide. But people do not believe that. People believe in lab machines being like cars. So if you buy, a BMW, and then you buy a standard BMW, and you buy like a Ferrari, the Ferrari is gonna be faster, isn't it? Right? Or let's say a Jeep and a Ferrari, and I explained that once already. But the Ferrari, you can't run in a desert or off-road. You can't drive it off-road. But people don't think this is more the way you should look at it when it comes to analytical systems. Some are made to be robust, and some are made to drive fast. So, but if you want to run if you want to drive the fast Ferrari in a desert, it's not going to bring you anything. Doesn't matter how fast it is, right? And the same thing counts for an MS. So I'm still believing that. I still can actually. I've proven it to myself, and I've proven it to my dad and my fellow acquarists, right? This is the case, but there's still some people from perception, and they don't have that much of like time in a day to think about it. So they just go by one easy search. Oh yeah, the MS is kind of more resolution, which is the case for freshwater, maybe, but not for seawater. And not for seawater that you ship over to wherever for a long time and it sits somewhere, and not for seawater that is taken by an aquarist out of his tank with his bare hands, not for that. That's not way. That's no resolution there. It's just that's just error. So and this is what I'm mean, and I will always stick to this, but it doesn't mean I'm not going to bring it for the people that believe different, and that's fine. For me, that's fine as long as I say it, what I believe, and people can have a choice. That's fine, and then I am a person that I'm not. Julian always says we are not going out to the reef to find something specific because we believe we need to prove something that is a theory of ours, and we need to be right. We're not doing that. We're going out there to see if the theory is right or not, if we have a theory, and then we'll take it as a win on each side. Even if we did it wrong, it's fine. So that in that case, people in the world can possibly show us on our own system if we're right or wrong, and it's fine. That's fine, and I'm working on the fluoride right now because I don't believe in fluoride too. A lot of people do that. So I want to know why. So this is the way we kind of roll. And yeah, that's maybe a thing. Yeah. I'll PM you after this event. Hey, Juan Gabriel is on. Hi, Juan Gabriel. Juan Gabriel, tonight is join me, mate. Tonight is a live, and I'm on the reef because there's coral spawning, and it's in the middle of the night, so it's a very rare event. So you need to be on there if you want. Okay, hope you're good. So yeah, you PM me after that, Aquakilla. It's good. So one more kicking booty in America. Always on fire. Do you do your maintenance still, mate? I think you're typing way too much. Is your tank going to suffer after this? That's funny. So My name is Harry, not Ferrari. All right. Okay, boys and girls, I think we are at the end of this live. We're 8 o'clock. We're on 1 hour today. That's good because we'll have another live today. And I'm very looking forward, and I need to still prepare some stuff for it. Night vision need to be tested one more time and stuff like that. That's cool. I'll show you the night vision camera today on the boat. That's we pimped it up a bit. That's pretty good. And yes, I'll prepare my boys. They need to have a good sleep because we'll be possibly back at midnight, back in the harbor. And yes, definitely. If you have one more question, I'll answer it. Just shoot it. But definitely be on that live if you can. That would be cool because Vincent is also a super knowledge guy. Like he knows a lot about reef keeping, right? Just to let you know, one of my best mates, for a long time from London, and I met him a long time ago, and he's an awesome person. Like just to let you know, he kept 7 or 8 feminist rests in one of his tanks, right? Just to let you know, like there was an impressive tank too. His aquarium, he had a Goniopora grown the size twice or maybe 3 times the size of my head. Okay, just to let you know, absolutely amazing in his tank, right? Beautiful, best reef tank builder in the world for me too. So just make sure you ask him your question, and he's running. He's making like right now he's creating and selling and putting up everywhere in the world big facilities that spawn coral in captivity, right? And they're millions. They're worth millions. They're big. He's working with like crazy places, right? Like that's unbelievable. So he will tell us the stories. And what we do for him is like temperature measurement, things like that, that is important for him. And it's kind of running stuff over us. But it will be very interesting. And he's not the person that comes up like, on lives and stuff very often. So it's a rare opportunity to ask him some questions too. Just to let you know, it'll be very interesting for you, right? So he hybridized, I think Australomusa, or who was it? Yeah, one of the LPS. He hybridized them. So he has like what do you chimera of them, like all the colors in there and craziness. So you need to listen to this guy. It's just amazing. I hope I can get some pictures to show you at one point. So yeah, we're working on getting stuff over from him here to run it at the JCU and maybe with Cairns Marine together. That would be amazing. Like just let know corals that don't exist in the ocean he created. That's a crazy thing. Okay, guys. So then I'll wrap it up. Don't forget, to look at our stuff on Black Friday. That'll be really interesting for a lot of people that interested into the subscription too. Just to let you know. And yes, I don't see any questions, so I'll wrap this up. I thank you very much, and I will see you in around 12 hours again. I hope on the boat, and I hope it's not too wavy, and all will feel good on the boat. But Julian will be there, Vincent will be there, and I want to thank you for all your questions one more time. And Albert, finish your maintenance. It's time. Okay, take care, guys. Have a good one. See you tonight. Hopefully, take care. Bye.